It's scary, and they're so young to even be in this type of situation.
Leaves an 18-year-old dead, and police say 17-year-old girlfriend is the one who is now being charged with murders.
Harrisburg police say the night of the incident, when they arrived to the scene, they saw Shaw and Brown in the kitchen together, where Brown was holding a bloody towel to Shaw's chest. Police say that he did explain that he had difficulty breathing and that he fell to the ground. Police also said that he was losing so much blood, they knew that he wasn't going to survive.
This story is one of the more difficult ones to tell because it involves two young lives, a relationship that turned volatile, and a series of moments that ended in tragedy. On the night of April 6th, police were called to a residence on Market Street, but the call didn't come in as a typical emergency. The caller was 17-year-old Delasia Terrell Brown, who contacted dispatchers reporting that a man was losing a lot of blood, and she was requesting an ambulance, but not the police. Regardless of her request, officers were dispatched to the home. When they arrived just before 11 p.m., officers found 18-year-old marShaw sitting down, struggling, as Delasia held a towel against his chest, trying to stop the bleeding. Tamar had a stab wound to the left side of his chest, and he was losing blood with every minute that passed by. So he was immediately rushed to the hospital, where he unfortunately did not survive. Based on the suspicious circumstances surrounding his death, an autopsy was performed. When the results came back, the autopsy confirmed that the stab wound had entered Tamar's chest cavity and ultimately led to his death. But in order to penetrate the chest cavity in that manner, it required significant force. So his death was officially ruled a homicide. When officers questioned Delasia about what happened, she told investigators a version of events that, at first glance, sounded like a tragic accident. She said the two had been in bed together and Tamar had asked for a kitchen knife to cut rolling papers for his Mary Jane. And according to Delasia, the knife may have been left in the blankets and she didn't know. So when she was sitting on top of Tamar, she moved the blankets and suddenly he cried out in pain. They didn't immediately understand what had happened, but when his shirt came off, she saw the blood began to pour out. Delasia admitted that the two of them had argued earlier in the day, but that at the time of the stabbing, there was no beef or conflict or tension or anything like that going on. At this moment, the case was unclear and even a bit confusing. But then investigators received a tip and everything changed. The tip told the police to check out Delasia's social media. When they did, they discovered a series of videos allegedly posted just before the incident. In one of the clips, Delasia is seen holding a knife and she appears to thrust it towards Tamar. The caption read, "Cut that wrist up," followed by laughing emojis. Another video, allegedly, included a caption saying, "Let this be a warning." In additional footage, she is seen repeatedly pointing a knife at Tamar and speaking about other girls and making statements suggesting that he wouldn't fight back. I'm assuming she means if she were to do something to him, he wouldn't do anything back. One clip also allegedly showed a serrated knife being thrown toward Tamar's neck. Investigators say the knives seen in the videos appear consistent with the weapon they recovered at the scene. These videos seemingly dispute everything Delasia told the police about the knife in the blankets. These videos suggested that Tamar's death was not an accident, but likely a very intentional act. After viewing the videos on Delasia's social media, coupled with the force that the medical examiner said would have had to have been used to cause the fatal injury, Delasia was charged with murder and additional related offenses. She is currently being held without bail. Police say the investigation is still ongoing and they are continuing to analyze digital evidence and reconstruct the timeline of what exactly went down during Tamar's final moments. Delasia returns to court on the 20th of this month. I'll keep an eye out to see if any new details get released after court, and if so, I'll circle back and give y'all an update.